And we are live. Thanks, Nandini. All right, guys. So we've gathered over here to talk about, how is an employee mindset different from an entrepreneur's mindset, right? So we've got business owners in our community who joined us. Thank you all for joining. It's great to have you. So let's just dive into it directly. Kavya, do you want to talk about your journey and how do you think of over these years, right? How do you feel now that you can take a step back? How do you think an employee's mindset is different from an entrepreneur's mindset?
Sure, Vimal, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Kavya Nelson. I'm a software engineer by profession, but now I'm doing this business full time. I'm a full time entrepreneur now, digital entrepreneur. So, um, see, when I started from a very young age, I was thinking of starting a business. I don't know how that came into my mind, but I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know what I would start, but I had that thought of being a business owner is what can give you financial independence. So that was my thought. So now what I think is the difference between people who have an employee mindset versus the entrepreneur mindset is people always try to be safe. If you have an employee mindset, they try to be safe. They don't want to try something new, right? So they would always try to be in a fixed mindset where they don't want to think of anything else, like learn anything new. They think that, okay, let me try, like I know this much, let me be safe with that, be comfortable with that thing what I know, right? I don't want to take a risk of learning something new, and what if it doesn't work and all those things. So for me it was not that. Because maybe because I was thinking of starting a business, I knew that any business will have some risk, right? To start with, you wouldn't have a guarantee that you will get the results 100%, right? So it is a risk, starting a business anyway. So when I came across this business, I thought the risk was very low in this business, right? So that was my thing. So when I started, the investment was very low, and the potential, I saw the results how people were getting was very high. So I thought, like, um, for the investment and for the risk that I'm taking, the result, that the value that I get from this would be great. So I think people won't think about that, right? People who have employee mindset, they don't think about that. So they think about, like, okay, if I have to invest $1,000, they just think about the money. So I'm just losing the money. That is what employees think, right? So they don't think about what that $1,000 can give them in return, right? So I think employees think, like, entrepreneurs think about that. They think about how investing something on themselves or something on other, anything that is they are investing on, can give them, how much they can give, how much that investment can give them in return, right? So that's the main thing, is what I feel. One thing is, I've seen, doing this business for these many years, Vimal and others, is that people who have employee mindset also will have dependency mindset, right? So they, even people who come in and start this business, they always think of a coach telling them what to do, or a mentor telling them what to do, right? So they are so much, like, comfortable getting a command or instructions from their bosses, that they want to take some instructions, only then they'll do it, right? So being an entrepreneur is not that. You come in, it is your business, you take the responsibility of your business, and you do what you like, right? So that's the main advantage of being an entrepreneur, is what I feel. So it's not about asking somebody else to do what my life has to be, right? So I want my life to be like what I dream of. Like, I want something in my life, and I will work for it. So we are looking for people who have that kind of mindset, not people who want to blame others, saying this is not working, that person didn't tell me what to do, that is why it didn't work. We are not looking for that kind of people. If you can take responsibility of your own life, this is a very good opportunity which can help you get there. If you have a dream of getting somewhere, like you want to retire like early, maybe by within before your 40s or 45, this is, that's a possibility in this business, but you have to take the responsibility. So do you have that mindset, is what we ask for. So if you come in with a mindset thinking, okay, I'll let other people like boss around me, you don't have a boss here. So if you can't do things on your own, it's not for you. So yeah, those are the things I think.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you, Kavya. That was great, great insight, and a lot of things resonated with me also. And so what I understand from you is, uh, you know, employees look for safety, they look for guarantee, they look for security, but entrepreneurs, on the other hand, look for freedom, look for taking charge of whatever they're doing. And that also resonated with me, where you said that an employee is always looking for somebody telling them what to do, right? Somebody else is giving them the task. So yeah, that also I mean, many of these things I have been guilty of myself. So all of this resonated with me. So fantastic. Great points. Thanks, Kavya, for sharing. Nandini, can you tell us how was your journey? What are the things that you notice, different from how an employee thinks and how an entrepreneur thinks?
Yes, so thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you, audience. So, my name is Nandini Sen, and I'm a life coach and well-being mentor. I was a supermodel in the 80s, and I've done a few acting gigs. I realized while I was doing this exercise, thinking of what I'm going to talk about for employee mindset versus employer mindset, that I have always been an employer. I have a personality that likes to lead. I have a personality that wants to create. I have a personality that wants to live life on her own terms. From the beginning, I think I was like this from when I was a kid. I knew what I wanted and I went for it. My modeling career was superb. I did the gigs I wanted to. I had a blast. I was working with everybody my age. It was like being in a university with everybody with the same madness happening. And it was just awesome. On my shoots, my photographers adored me. The crew used to love me. I remember that I used to always eat vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce. That was my go to, and it was always there on set for me. I lived like a queen. It was great as an employer, not an employee. I called the shots. I chose what I wanted to do. Then again, as a life coach and a well being mentor, I offered services at my time, my comfort zone, whether it was my home, whether it was my studio, and later on online. Again, I call the shots. It gave me a sense of confidence and self esteem. In retrospect, I realized that. I have always never felt I'm doing a job. I felt that I'm just having a blast, both as a model as well as a life coach and well-being mentor. I adored the people and I adored my work. And then my daughter wanted to join Bollywood, so I was helping her, and my friend Farah Khan said, "Chalo, tum bhi karo roles." Oh my God! I realized today, as I was preparing for this, how much I hated it. I really did not like being an actor. And why? Because I was at the mercy of the executive producer. अच्छा ठीक है मैं घर जाऊँ क्या? Can I go home? I've been here on set for 10 hours. No, you have one more shot. 2 in the morning. I have to look bright and happy. Hello, beta. Namaste. Aa jao. Chai piyoge? For 3 lines. I had to stay awake till 2 in the morning. It was so frustrating for me. And I realize now why. I do not have an employee mindset. I cannot work for someone else. I cannot have an executive producer say, 4 और घंटा लगेंगे to say hello. It just is too frustrating for me. And so I want to start today with a mind blowing quote by Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. The richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. And this actually perfectly captures the employer mindset. We look for and build networks. And it's so true because when I was a model, I built a great network of people who adored me. And later on, when I became an art of living teacher, I sent out this little email and flyers to everybody who adored me. And they all did the course with me because I had already built a very good relationship with all these people. So I had built my network. So I didn't have to wait. I created that system and created my opportunities. Something for you to think about. Build networks that help you and that help you create the opportunities. And you start thinking differently about wealth and success. So, I want to talk about the difference between having an employee mindset and an employer mindset. Have you ever wondered why most people are stuck in jobs, just paying bills till the day they die, while others, the smart ones, create wealth and freedom? So, an employee mindset is very security focused, as Kavya said. Employees prioritize a fixed salary, fixed job benefits, and they think stability, which we know today is a big joke. There's no such thing as a stable job. They work for money, they trade their time, their effort, their skills. And while I was thinking about this, all the money that has been paid on their education is for them to make money for someone else because they have a capped income. So whether they work 10 hours or whether they work 20 hours, the boss up there is going to benefit, not them. Imagine they trade their life skills, they trade their life for that little bit of salary they're going to get at the end of the month. And they're going to only pay bills, and one day it's over. They're always scared. They're so scared of risk. They prefer certainty. They think that no, 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 with my job I have certainty. And they avoid stepping out of what they think is a comfort zone. I don't know what's so comfortable about that. And I used to worry about my parents because of this. I'd see them month after month just paying bills, talking about how they can manage the next month. And I would wonder, but why are they stuck here? Now, in retrospect, I realize because they did not have an employer mindset. I don't know how I was born different, but thank God I was. Employees are task oriented. They focus on completed, like they wear their blinkered vision. They just focus on that task rather than create new opportunities. Employees think in a tight box. Bas is dabba mein. That's it. And that's why we say think out of the box. Create new opportunities for yourself. And employees, as Kavya said, constantly blame external factors. My boss, politics, the MP of this area, the weather, they blame policies, they blame everything for their financial situation. Whereas an employer has a growth focused mindset. They always think long term. They don't work for money, they make money work for them. They know how to multiply systems, they financially educate themselves, they embrace risk and learning. They see failures as stepping stones and continue with that risk and learning. And Andrew's wife, Jennifer, is like that. She wanted to do something online and she made a few mistakes. She invested in a few places which didn't work, but that didn't stop her from trying again. And that's an employer's mindset. They're solution oriented. They create jobs, they solve problems, and they innovate. They don't work for someone else, they work for themselves. Apna malik bante hain. And they take responsibility. They don't complain, they don't compare. They don't complain and they don't compare. So an employee trades time for money. An employer builds wealth by creating value. The shift becomes with our mindset. What sort of mindset do you have? Do you have an employee's mindset? Do you have an employer's mindset? Are you willing to take that risk and take charge of your life and be in charge of your life today? Thank you, Vimal.
Thanks. Thank you, Nandini. Great points that you covered. Nice. So, like what even Kavi was talking, right? Many of those points, it's there. I see it as a theme everywhere, right? Employees are task focused. Entrepreneurs think, okay, I've got an obstacle. How do I overcome it and move on with my journey? Whereas when you are an employee, you say that, okay, now an obstacle has come, so I throw up my hands. Now somebody tell me what to do, and I'm stuck here. So yeah, all those I've seen it, and I'm embarrassed to admit it, but yes, I know it very, very deeply. All right. Anyway, cool. So okay, I see Praveen has also joined. Hey, Praveen, welcome back. Tell me how has been your journey, and how do you feel an entrepreneur's mindset is different from that of an employee's mindset?
Sure. Do thanks, Vimal. Am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, let me introduce myself. So, I'm Praveen. So, I live in US with my family, and I'm an engineer by profession and also a digital business owner. And talking about the employee mindset. So, being an employee, I feel that I always live in the future. Like one day I'll buy this thing. One day I will travel somewhere. One day I'll become a manager. One day I will make $1 million by working for someone. So that was my mindset. But that one day I don't know when it will happen. So I used to think like 10 years back, but still I'm running behind that one day. But coming to the employer or business owner mindset, I know that things is going to happen because I can see the result immediately because it is in my hand. I'm not dependent on others. So as an employee, I'm always dependent on a manager to give that promotion or to give that pay increase. As a business owner mindset, I know what I'm doing. So I know I have my own plans. I have my own control on what I'm going to make. So in that way, I know when I'm going to achieve these things. And other thing is being an employee, I'm always in a competitive environment. So if I'm working a team of 10 people, then I need to be always a top performer to get the promotion or to get the pay rise. So even if they are my friends or colleagues, so I need to be always in competition. But when it comes to the business owner, I'm not in competition because we support each other. So even if I don't know anything, I can go and ask someone, and then they are ready to support. They are ready to give their time to me, and then they are always there to support me in this business. And the other thing, as Nandini mentioned, so employees they actually work for money, but the business owners they make money work for them. And being an employee, the other disadvantage I see is we have our own restriction. So if I work in a company, since I work in a company, so I cannot take any decision. So that decision has to be approved by someone else. But in my business, I take my own decision. I don't need anyone's authority or approval. So I can just take the decision, and then which is good for me and good for my family, I can make the decision and then keep move on. And other thing is if I make any mistakes in my employment, then I'm responsible for it. I need to answer to someone else. But in my business, if I make any mistake, I learn from it and then I can change it and then I can recover from it and then keep moving forward. And other thing is, as an employee, um, I'm always feel that I work for something, but I don't know what will be the outcome. So I'm keep working. I work like 12 hours, 24 hours, but the result is same. So even if I work 12 hours a day or 24 hours a day, I'm going to get the same fixed figure. But in business, if I work, as I work more and more, I learn more and more, and then again, I'll be making more. Another thing with the employees, even if I invest in myself, I may not see the benefit out of it. But in the business, more I invest in myself, then I'll see more benefit out of it. That's one thing, the personal development. So the more I invest in business, in myself, I can see the personal development of myself in the business. But in the employment, the more I invest in myself, I can't see any benefit because nothing is there. And in business, there are a lot of intangible benefits, but in the employment, the only benefit is the salary. That's it. Yeah. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you. Great points again. And again, many of those things resonate with me also. When you are an employee, right? So the people that you work with, they are your friends, they are colleagues, they are people that you have to depend on, right? But very strangely, very ironically, you are also at war with them. You are also in competition with them at appraisal time, right? Because out of a pie, some of them will get the bigger piece. So we are always in competition with it. So that kind of irony, as an employee, you always face it. You always come to see it all the time. Yeah. Thanks. Great points, Praveen. Andrew, how has been your journey? What do you think about the changes that you see in while being an employee versus being an entrepreneur?
Sure. Thanks, Vimal, for giving this opportunity to talk about myself regarding this mindset thing. So I'm Andrews, and I live in Melbourne with my wife and 2 years old baby Dora. So in Melbourne, so and now I'm doing this business full time. Uh, so at this stage, like I have like 10 years of experience in construction industry. So I worked as a senior project engineer. So in various projects like defense or infrastructure and all that. So far, what I want to start with is I think say 80% of the even in our business or anyone you see, 80% of people have employee mindset. Okay, so that's because soon after the graduation, mostly like the people around our family members, or maybe even in the uh, universities or colleges, they will be all taught that you need to secure a job, you need to be in this, and then there will be a lot of companies coming to the campuses like for the on-site interviews and all. So all your friends, all they are proud of talking about, like securing a job. So I got placed in Accenture, I got placed in Infosys, I got 2 placements, and this is the package I've got. And even universities, they market themselves promoting that, okay, this is the candidate who secured 50 lakhs package from our university, and that's how they promote, and then they get more students in. But in fact, like throughout my college life, they never talk about start your own business. This is the mindset you need to have. So we are always taught about securing a job and then work for a salary. So, and in fact, like there are other classes like where you have like leadership qualities. That's good, but we never apply in our life, because once we get into the employee, or once we join a company, mostly we are stuck there with that mindset. We always try to in the beginning we try to learn a lot of things as a training, and then after that, seeing your higher officials, or like people in the higher positions already, you feel like I want to be that person and earning this much of salary. So that's what we think. We always want to reach to a position what others are earning. Okay, so that's where we are stuck, and the growth, that's why it takes a lot of time, because we can't be that person. Maybe some people have switched a lot of times, so that's how they reach. So the thing is, for an employee, it's always like, as Nandini also mentioned, it's like in a box. Okay, so you don't have wide opportunities there. You have a very close thing, like there is a pin stuck in the center, and you have a rubber band. It can stretch in different directions, but there is a limit for that. So if you stretch more, it will break, and there is no use. So that's how, in a simple word, that's an employee mindset is. But being a employer, I mean, like you have a entrepreneurial mindset. So when you have that pin and you still use a rubber band, but if you want to go somewhere that is like not reachable, you can shift your pin there and then place it, and then you can work around. So that's how you see the success. And if not, you place different pins and then you connect to each other, and you can be everywhere. So that's the I think the power of entrepreneur mindset, and that's how they see the success. So they can go everywhere, they can go around, they can do whatever they want. But also it comes with the learning, and then the hard work and the efforts they put in. So there is no such thing called easy money. So why again, like most people stuck is like fear of with the employee mindset is fear of failure. So some lot of people, like even myself, at some stage I used to think like, okay, so I'm gonna get married now, I'm gonna have a family now, this is the salary. So what I used to think is like, no, I need to secure another job so that I can afford to pay the bills of, I mean, like for the extra expenses that I have for my family. So maybe if I go out, I have to spend for like one more person now. So that's why I need a better salary. That's what I think about, like salary wise, and I move to another job. But that's not the thing. Again, at the end of the day, now I have baby, and I'm again struggling to pay my bills. Okay, so for me, all like it. Then I realized, okay, I'm not giving time to my baby, and then my income is limited. I can't earn more. So maybe my position changes because I'm in a salary bracket where that's a maximum tax you pay, like 45%. So then I've realized, even if I work hard or spend more time, maybe 20% of salary will increase in the next 5 or 10 years. Only my position will change. That's it. So when I started my job, I started with 55K as a graduate engineer, and last year I paid my taxes as 69K, just my taxes. So when I like wrote down what's my future is gonna be like in the next 5 years, I didn't see any future being an employee. So then I've realized, okay, this is the hard truth. Now I need to realize, but at the same time, I don't have any regrets. It's good to have an employee mindset in the beginning, but also keep continuing having a mindset of being a entrepreneur, because that's where, when you want to start of your own, there's a lot of things you need to learn, and that's how you learn as an employee. And then in the meantime, use that network to reach the level of being an entrepreneur. So it's always good to have, like, you need to balance both, but always you need to think, like, you need to also simultaneously work on the entrepreneurial mindset. Don't just get stuck with the employee mindset. And throughout my 10 years, do you regret? I don't regret for working for so long, but I think I tell myself, like, at least you took the step now. It's never too late. So that's why I keep working now. And at the same time, so I think in the previous sessions also, I've mentioned a lot of times why I started this business and all. So it's basically to spend more time with family. Money wise, I was okay paying my bills and everything. It was okay. Anything excess or save, whatever the tax returns I get, some part, maybe I'll just use it for my traveling or buy extra gadgets. So I love gadgets, so I spend money on gadgets. That's it. But in future, then nothing is giving in return to me, like. So I'm stuck there now. I just wanted to change that lifestyle, and then explore myself where I can reach. So, and then the my other thing the people get stuck is like having a comfort zone. So comfort zone is like, okay, now I sit here, I know, like, I have to pay my rents, the other EMIs, car EMIs and all that. So always, like, people, they think about, okay, what if I start my journey, how would I meet these bills? So that's why they get stuck, like, they depend on salaries, and they only work on how to use that salary in a different, like, to pay the different bills. And then any little amount you save, again you spend for your luxury or whatever you want, or you want to buy things, or some unexpected things comes in life, so you'll spend on that. So that's why people, they get stuck in that comfort zone where, okay, my job, my salary is looking after me. So that's why, like, I don't want to take any risk, so they get stuck there. That's basically a comfort zone, but it's actually, it's not their salary is looking after them, it's the, he's getting paid. Someone, they should realize, like, you're getting paid for the work you're doing there. It's not salary looking after them. They are doing for someone, and then they're paying the salary, and the salary you're just distributing. That's it. It's not that the salary is looking after them, because next day when you lose a job, will you still get that salary? Will the salary will look after you? No. That's it, you're done. So you need to again look for another job. So that's how the people, they get stuck. And then lack of financial education, they don't explore much. So what's there in market, they always think about what's the next job, what job is close to my home. That's what they think. And then they change the jobs. Even for me, like, when I changed the job, it was like I was doing more night shifts, but I wanted a day shift. That's why I moved. That's it. But still, it will come up with, like, how your company look after you. That also matters. But nothing you can decide. Like, it's something that comes with your employer, like, what, how they treat you, that's what you get. So, and then a lot of self doubts, and the people around you, like the family members, oh, why did you even leave a job? No, you shouldn't leave a job. So there's a lot of things, like even people try to discourage you. But once you become successful, that's when the people again praise you a lot for that, and then tell you. So for this business, in that way, I tell you, like, you don't need to quit the jobs or don't do the job. That's what that I don't say that, but while doing it, build a mindset of having an entrepreneurial life. Like one day you have to reach there, so that the business will take care of you. Even if you don't have a job or salary, once you lose, you will not be a dependent, uh, based, like, financially or anything. You have something secured. So personally, I just want to close with my thing is, um so maybe like 2 years back, if you look, if you have asked this question to me, I would have talked about, like, I want to be a project manager, or maybe I want to get in, look after a navy project. That maybe that's my next, like, 5 years journey, where I would see myself and all that. Or salary wise, I was already okay, so I maybe my position will change, that's it. But again, when there are no projects now currently in Victoria State in Australia, so the job market is really bad because the government doesn't have enough funds to have a big projects. So people are losing jobs. So that's why, like, where maybe today, if I didn't have this business, I would have got stuck there. I would have, even if it was a hard situation in the workplace, I still used to work. I would have been working. The reason is, I know the job market is bad, so I have to, like, bear all this pain and keep working. But when I started, I mean, like, the reason I started was different. But now, today, if you ask me, even if I lose everything here, I have a home in India. I can go back, sit there, I can still do the business. So that is the advantage, that confidence itself. I feel very secure in my life now, that i I don't have to, like, ask someone, keep applying for jobs, look like day and night. It's not that, like, I've already secured something, and then I can take along with me. I can work from anywhere in my own terms. And then I used to complain about working 10 hours, 12 hours a day in the job, because that gives me a fixed salary. But today I actually sometimes work 13 hours, 14 hours. It will be very interesting. I literally spend the whole night sometimes. And at the same time, I don't even spend 1 or 2 hours also in a day. When I feel low, or like if I want to go out, I spend less. That basically is like, I know if I spend more time, I'm going to earn more. If I spend less, that's not going to give me a success. It will not take me there. So I started with a purpose. I'm working on that, and then in my own terms. And in the end, like, I'm finally happy, and I feel very secured financially. And if anything goes wrong, I always have a thought that, okay, this business is always there for me, and I can work on it, and it can look after me and my family. So that's kind of financial security I personally feel. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for sharing that. A
Yeah.
lot of interesting points. Some of the things that which I can recollect is social conditioning, right? The society itself makes you afraid. Don't
Yeah.
try anything out of the box. Don't take
Yeah.
any risks, right? So that's stuff that we grew up with learning from schools and colleges. So yeah,
Yeah.
that resonates well with me. So cool. Dr. Nandini, what do you feel? What are your experiences? How is being an employee different from being an entrepreneur? So what is your experiences? Please do share.
Hi, Vimal. Hello, everybody. It's been such an enriching session already. It's wonderful to hear all the information nuggets, and it just enriches what you all know. So, hello world. It's wonderful that you all tune in live or later on. And it just seems like the world is slowly shrinking to our palm top here. So, the idea behind all these chat sessions, by the way, I'm Dr. Nandini Haldar, an obstetrician and gynecologist. The idea behind our chat sessions is basically to give you info nuggets, and we try to attack a topic from different angles, and we give you an overview. These topics are so vast and deep that we cannot finish it in days, even if we have days at a stretch. But the idea is to give you that motivation and inspiration so that you all can go and delve into it more. And that is where the first difference between an employee and an employer mindset comes. That if it's an employee, they will think like, oh, they will just hear maybe the first 2-3 minutes and will think, oh, it's a weekend or it's the evening off, and this is not applicable to the job I do. I won't listen to this. And if at all somebody has that employer spark in them, they will think that if these bright minds are on the panels saying something, I might find some gold here. So just check it out. So that is a first difference between an employee and an employer, that an employee normally works for earning, and you leave an employee without the salary for 2 weeks, 1 month, they are gone. I can appreciate the salary is important to bring the food to the table, but still that is the mindset. They will not hold on very long without the money. But for an employer, the mindset is such, it's like a heart of a lioness. They are ready to work for months at a stretch. No money. They keep working. They are working to learn, and suddenly boom, a lot of money comes in, and then they keep on working, and then they see it's stable. Now the flow of money is a lot more than they would have ever got as a salary, and then that lasts for a lifetime. So that's how it is, that we have to learn to work and learn for long without even bothering about what money is coming at the initial phase, so that it's a lifelong investment and we are good in the long term. So that is the first difference. But before we delve in further, I want to bring a personal sort of story to this. Me being an obstetrician and a gynecologist, whenever, as long years ago, when as a kiddo after MBBS, we are asked to pick and choose our specialty, what drives us, what we want to do in future. Then the major reason that is common, quite generic to all, that why do we choose obs and gynae, apart from the various subspecialties, later you can specialize in gynae oncology, benign gynecology, fetal medicine, yeah, that's all there. But as an initial starter point, why we chose this? Because there are a few medical specialties that has the best of two worlds. Obs and gynae is one of those specialty where you have a medical side, where you can manage the patients both conservatively and medically, and you can regularly get into the surgical side, and some people just cannot do without their surgery. So we didn't want to leave either the medicine or the surgery, and these are the few specialties we felt this just pulls my mind, because this is the best of two worlds. And this is often the case for a lot of us human minds, that we want to have the best of two worlds. We want to have choices. Like for a kid, it's very annoying when we keep asking, tell me, boy, whom do you love better, more? Is it mom or dad? And they are at a loss because they actually don't know what to answer to that. Never can I live without any of them, so I cannot pick and choose. Similarly, as a kid, even we often think, I want to break free from this home protection. I want to have a hostel life where I'm not answerable to anybody. And hey ho, when we go to the hostel life and spend years overseas, we want to have the comfort of the home, where parents will really ask us, when are you going to come back? So this choice is very important. What we are trying to say is, as a platform where we are offering a business opportunity and we are doing this, we are not influencing or trying to get this to the society, that you all get into the employer mindset and leave the jobs. No, that is not what we are trying to do. We are trying to give you an opportunity of worlds, that stick to your employment and stick to your job, please do that. But in the small pockets of time, 1 or 2 hours, hustle a bit and start with a startup, because we have a ready-made system for you, a success blueprint. So it's very easy. You don't have to think a lot. It's already there for you, and you have to put your mark on it. But get an insight, get a taste of what the entrepreneurial journey is like. So you then know what an employment feels like and an entrepreneurial journey feels like. And then after 3-4 years, after it picks up on its momentum, you are good to choose. In life, it's the best luxury to have a choice. And for the many of us whose business then picks up after 3-4 years, they then choose. They're at a liberty to say, hang on, I'm going to do both, or I'll be going part-time on the main job, or early retirement. And that's wonderful. Because think about it, from mindset point of view, most of the entrepreneurial journeys, Nandini said this in another session earlier, majority of the well-off people, they have not come from money. It's only 5 to 10% of people who have inherited the money. That means, I would say, well-off and the other category, poor or middle class, are all sort of poor mindset people who are not trying to make it big. So they are all basically from this middle class background, who have, the entrepreneurs have just broken free from this mindset to try something new, to create, to be innovative. Because let's be honest, entrepreneurial journeys is not about money, because there's a lot of professions, like we are on this table here, Nandini as a model, supermodel, and engineers, doctors, my father, lawyer. Everybody can be very well off money wise, but the main thing, the mindset is different. Because if you are aiming for this thing of financial and time freedom, where you are not stuck to a location or an employment, and the concept, like you would see, we look out for the relaxing evenings, we look out for the weekend, we look out for a vacation coming in 3 months time, we look out for our retirement. When would you think an entrepreneurial journey has all that? They don't look out for that. If they think about it, tomorrow they will hit Paris, they're walking there, they're getting into their board meetings. So this whole concept of looking forward to restful time is all part of the employment that we are in, that we look forward to weekends and retirement time. But for employers, entrepreneurial journey, they will rest actually, so that they can work till they actually want to, and then they have already unlocked their passive income, and they are good to go. So that is where we are now. Second or third point that we can say is, we know Jim Rohn, who is like with his master stroke has created leaders around the world, and he has pointed out that you would normally be one of the 5 people, you are the average of the 5 people you are daily mixing with, your close circle. So without you even knowing, you are imbibing in what's happening in your close circuit. So if at all you are with all the employees, passively you will be in the employee mindset. And if audience, if you all are thinking we are speaking differently because we have dipped our feet, we have dipped our hands and feet into a different circle, and we are seeing life in a completely different light, and that is where the difference has come. So be very careful of which circle you choose to mix daily with. And then we talk about some books. That's also your daily company, your inner circle. And when you change the book sort of mix in your library, that also helps. Like, I never, as a medical person, I never read these books, but they should actually be read, not just by business people at all. These books, I've kept some books which I'm just in the midst of reading. This is, as Nandini has already mentioned, Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the other is Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, who was mentored by Sir Andrew Carnegie. So these books are very crucial for you to look at money very differently, because let's be honest, our schools and universities, which Andrew has already mentioned, they do not give us the financial education, how we can look after ourselves, though this becomes a major part of our well-being in future. Leaving startups or anything, but whatever money we have, how we are going to save it, how we are going to invest it to make it bigger in future, this sort of a financial literacy should be part of our growing up period. So that is there. Now, a few more things I'll just mention. That is, what do I want to say? Yes, yes. As a as an employee and an employer, I think the difference is about there's so many things my colleagues have already said, but you either sell your time or you buy your time. So if as an employer, you are actually buying time from others, and when you're in a job, you're selling your time, you're trading time to get the money. You pick up extra shifts, you're trading more and more time. But what the employer mindset will do is they will invest a part of their money to bring in, recruit 100,000 people, so that they can get that many part of the work done within very short period of time. That's the power of leverage, that you get your work done by recruiting people. So that's the power of getting a team, a process, and a strategy on place, and we provide you all that on our platform. And last but not the least, looking at money as either a seed or a fruit. So we the poor mindset people, we work so much and we think, oh gosh, the money has come and we are going to go on a vacation, and on the vacation all the photos has to have the different dresses and all that. So we spend like anything. So yes, we enjoy it as a fruit of our hard labor. Okay, and we don't really think much about investment. But when you think of the entrepreneurial journey, they would look at their money as a seed. Yes, they would enjoy the fruit, they would go somewhere and enjoy, but at the same time, a major part, a percentage of their income will be kept as a seed for future trees to grow. So they would invest further, which we middle class people always think and start counting on money. Oh my God, I have to invest. That is your seed for further future trees to grow. And I think I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Vimal. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Nandini. Yeah, very nice points. One of the things that really stuck with me is, how as an employee you're saying that, okay, one day I'm going to be doing that. One day I will do this, right? You look forward. I mean, you're not living right now in the present. You're living in the future, saying that, okay, one day something is going to happen, and that day I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to retire one day, and that's the day I'm going to really live my life. But who knows if that's ever going to happen or not? Whereas an entrepreneur will always think that today is the day. Today is what I'm going to do, what I want to do, right? So yeah, that really struck a chord with me. Thank you. Saptarishi, how has been your journey? How do you feel? What's the difference, in your opinion, between how an employee thinks and how an entrepreneur thinks?
Thanks, Vimal. So I'm Saptarshi, and I'm in the IT field for the past 7 years, and I'm originally from Calcutta. I'm staying in Mumbai. Okay, so for me, okay, what I think is that the employees, okay, employees, they are always after instant gratification, so they require huge returns in a very short time. That's why you see many employees get stuck in scams, right? So because only scams can give huge returns in a short time, not a genuine business. So and the next thing I say is spendability. Okay, so I'll tell you a short story here. So I was staying in Pune between 2018 and 2020. Okay, and once COVID hit in 2020, I came back to my hometown, Calcutta. So in Pune, what happened? There was a person, and that person was he got some money from somewhere. Like he won some money from somewhere, huge amount of money. And after he won that money, he immediately spent it on buying a house and many other things. So immediately he came to ground zero. So my point is that when you get some money, when you earn some huge amount of money, we should not spend it on our material luxuries right away. We need to learn to invest. Okay, so we need to make money from money. We need to learn to do that. So we need to spend on in some assets like a good business or some stocks, right? Or whatever which will generate you money in future. So, and the problem with him was he immediately lost all his savings. He spent all that money which he received, and he again came to ground zero. So that he made that big huge mistake in his life. And the next thing is EMI. Okay, so uh, EMI. So I'll tell another story here. So when I go to my office in Mumbai, so what happens is there is a person. So he is junior level. Okay, he is not a senior level. He's a junior level associate, and he has an iPhone. He bought that on EMI. So why to like buy cars, phones, laptops, everything on EMI? It's a burden on you, right? So an employee will always buy everything on EMI, like and they will take the burden of that. So just to show off or to like that. So never buy on EMIs. That's my suggestion. So and the next thing is shiny object syndrome, which I have faced. Okay, so what is shiny object syndrome? So a couple of years back, like being like I was working in a very reported MNC, and I was trying out various online business opportunities as well, and I was jumping from one opportunity to another. So I was just jumping. If I have a little thought also that so the other one, the latter opportunity is a bit better, then I'll jump. So my suggestion here is that if you jump like a monkey, okay, from one thing to another, it will take you nowhere, right? So, and on top of that, you need to give your entire focus, time, effort, only one thing or one or two things, okay? As Robin Sharma, the famous author, has said in one of his books, where focus goes, energy flows. So you need to give your focus on very few things to succeed. Another thing I want to point out here is that don't do too many things at the same time. Okay, so don't do 5 or 10 or many things at the same time. Okay, multiple things at the same time. If you put your leg in too many boats, you will drown. So it's better to do only one or two things at a time. So that's one of the major mindset changes I had over a couple of years. Okay, I was having all these mindsets earlier that trying too many things and all these things. Okay, uh, okay. So now what I want to point out the other factors here. Okay, so and entrepreneurs like the employee, what they do is they like if they face any failure in their life. Okay, if an employee faces any failure, they will break down completely. But entrepreneurs take failure as an opportunity to learn. Okay, and on top of that, I can tell you the main point. Okay, the main point which entrepreneurs focus on. Okay, so what happens is normally and the employees 99%, like I have seen, employees focus on trading time for money. They trade time for money. Okay, but entrepreneurs build systems and processes. Okay, and which will generate huge money for them, and this money they convert their annual income in a job to a monthly income. That power it has. A business, and a beautiful business has that power. So entrepreneurs focus on that, and even entrepreneurs focus on the second most important thing is time freedom. So uh, so what they do is they invest in some assets which will generate for them passive income over time, so that they can enjoy their life, they can follow their passions. Okay, and they can travel the world, whatever. They can follow their passions, they love the thing is like, we all want to do what we love in life, right? We like it, like imagine like able to do something you love, your passion, but you don't have time to do that because of your job. So so entrepreneurs focus on that aspect as well. And the other thing is that as Kavya and Nandini also said, so employees run away from risk. They will not take any risk. Okay. But entrepreneurs take calculated risk. So for doing something big in life, you have to take risk. So entrepreneurs take calculated risk. And then I want to say that that employees' first priority is money and second priority is position. So, but entrepreneurs' first priority is time freedom. See, if you generate huge money, what will you do with that money if you don't have time only for yourself? So, how will you enjoy that money, right? First priority is time freedom, and second priority is money. Okay, and that is the thing. And the last thing is that employees wish to be the smartest person in the room, but entrepreneurs surround themselves with smart and or people who are more talented than them so that they can learn from them. They surround themselves with a community, a beautiful community, or people who are much more knowledgeable than them. So that is the thing I wanted to share. Thank you, Vimal. And
Thank you, Saptarshi. Great points. Yeah, it was fantastic, fantastic listening. So a lot of things to learn from each one of you. A lot of
Vimal,
values.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I get 2 minutes
Yeah,
time
yeah, please.
here?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Like, because like what Saptashi mentioned, like, so there was something running in my mind already. So I just wanna let it off that 2 minutes of time. Okay. So like what he mentioned is like being an employee, like they um always crave for that time freedom and all that. That's okay. I want to give an example, like one of my friends, like very close. So last year when Jennifer went to India in August, so he's actually been like, he visited our home and sat with Jennifer, and he asked like what's this business about, how whether he can do it or not. And he called me as like he's very much interested too, and till date he didn't take any action. Okay. And yesterday he calls me and he says, Anna, do you have any money? Even a little money will help. He's actually well settled, well, okay, educated. And he was, the reason what happened is, since 2 years, he wasn't able to find a job. He couldn't secure one. So he was working for Capgemini. And now recently he gave an interview and he cracked it. And unfortunately, that company said like, no, you can't work because you are in the blacklist. So for the last 2 years, he didn't know that this happened. And then when he spoke to the Capgemini managers, so yes, you have been blacklisted. The reason is you've actually done two jobs simultaneously. So in 2023, what he did was he worked for two companies at the same time, and the PF went from both the companies. So his UN number got blocked. So that's why, like,
Yeah.
he wanted to earn money, but what he did, he was actually cheating one company and he was working for other company simultaneously, working from home, and that ruined his whole life now. And I asked him, how much do you need for that? And he says like it's just to remove that blacklist and the remarks. So he needs to spend to the lawyer 6.5 to 7.5 lakhs just to take it off. And I said, this is the dumbest thing you're talking to me, just to take out that UN number, because that you can't work for any MNC in future. So you want to spend 7.5 lakhs just for that, and you want me to send you that money to like give it to a lawyer or someone just to reactivate your UN again to secure another job, which there is no guarantee that you will secure a job, or you will be like continuing to, maybe they'll find out these reasons and again they'll fire you off. So there is no guarantee. If I had that 6.5 to 7.5 lakhs, like if I had in my pocket, I will invest and at least realize this mistake, that I can't do two jobs. And then I'll invest on something, I'll build myself so that I will be not in this position again. So as of now, I have a mindset of entrepreneur. Okay, if someone comes and tells me like, okay, this is 10 lakhs, if we invest, so we can make about 20 lakhs in 1 year, we can double that, whatever, I listen to him. But when someone says like, this is for my employment, if you give me like 5 lakhs or not even a 1 lakh, I will not give, because I know there is no financial security there, and it will not help him also. Maybe it buys some time for him, but it will not change his future. So that's why, like, that's the mindset now I've changed. And at the same time, they should also think, like, that's why the solution for these kind of mindsets, they have, like, an employee, they should question themselves. Instead of, like, how can I find a better job, they should think about how can I create an opportunity for myself. So if they question themselves, they'll get an answer, and they need to work on that, and then, yeah, they'll find a way to come out of it.
Very true. Thanks for sharing, Andrews. Yeah,
Yeah.
very right. Cool. Anybody else would like to add anything? It's been a wonderful session.
I
Go
would
ahead.
like to add something. Saptarishi said something. It reminded me of my brother. My
Yeah.
brother had an employer, and he was an employee, and then he quickly changed to an employer when certain things happened. He was in Britannia, and he started Unibic, which was the largest growing company for cookies. And it was a global international company. He started it with three other people. So basically, he was the founder of Unibic. And he would never buy anything if he didn't have the money to buy it, as well as the money to live well. You understand? He would never travel abroad unless he could travel in style, but only if he had enough as extra money. And in Rich Dad Poor Dad, it says that Robert Kiyosaki's wife wanted to buy a Mercedes Benz, but
Yeah.
he only allowed her to buy it when she made enough money to buy that Mercedes Benz as a
Yeah.
separate extra profit. So that's what the rich do. That's what employers do. They don't, stick a lot of debt on their head like what your friend wanted to do. They're smart with their money. That's all I wanted to say.
True, true, true. Very nice. Yeah. Kavi, anything that you would like to add?
No,
Uh,
Nandini, you're on mute. Dr. Nandini, she's talking,
So
but
sorry about Rich Dad Poor Dad, Vimal. Sorry to interrupt. It's
oh,
I was just going through one word yesterday, that between broke and poor, the difference between broke and poor is broke is temporary. You can be broke for a short period of time, but poor is eternal. It's going to last, because that's the poor mindset he's highlighting. You won't be able to come out of it unless you change your mindset. Thanks, Vimal.
yeah. Thank you, doctor.
so I think
Fantastic.
it finally comes back, like, from all our whatever we've spoken now, the main point we have spoken about is the freedom is what I think, right? So people who are thinking of having that freedom to do what they want, right, rather than being under somebody and being controlled by somebody, I think that's what mainly we spoke about. We have that time. You need that time to do, like, you just have the money but you don't have time is of no use, right? So that's another second point, I think, like, start investing your money. And I loved Dr. Nandini, what she said about the seed and fruit, right? So people don't think of money as a seed, they just think of it as a fruit. They just want to spend it on luxury, right? But if you don't know that when you think of it as a seed, if you sow that as a seed, you can grow more money, right? So that's the thing. So people, when you're thinking of investing on something, so like Andrews again said, when somebody is asking for money to invest on something, we'll listen to them. We'll think of, okay, he or she's talking about some opportunity, let me see if that can bring us money. But we don't encourage now, right? After being in this business and changing our mindset so much, we never think of investing and starting, like, going to a job, like paying some bribe, or it's not like that. We don't think of going and joining a job now, because we know how it is and how much freedom you can get as an entrepreneur. And if you're putting the effort, like if you're going for 2 shifts and working 2 shifts and earning the same amount, or like 200 or $300 extra, do you think, can you think of how much you can make more if you can put the same effort on yourself, on your own business? If you're working 2 shifts on your own business, you can earn like a month's salary in a day, right? That's a
Yeah.
possibility in a business, but it's not a possibility in your job. You're going for multiple shifts just to earn that extra $200, right? So can you imagine how much you're being exploited by your employers, right? Because you are in need, they are asking you to go for another shift. But if you think of it in a different perspective, if you can think of it and put that same time on yourself, and grow your own business, you can make multiple times that income. You have the capability, but you don't want to explore that. You just want to be safe. You just want to be you just want to think that you're secure at your job, but you're not secure. You have more. You can do much more, but you're restricting yourself being an employee. So if you have a leadership quality, like now Nandini and I said, like even for me, I feel that I had leadership quality from the beginning. But it's not that you have to like you are born being a leader. No, you can become a leader too. So if you have the mindset to change, right? Again, you if you, after listening to all of us, if you think that okay, I don't want to be stuck in employee mindset and I want to change, that is a possibility. You can do that, right? So like now Dr. Nandini said, read some books, learn how to change your mindset. Don't be stuck in your employee mindset. You will not gain anything being there. You will always keep paying your bills. You will always keep looking forward to that day where you can enjoy your life, but that day will never come. After getting retired, you might think that okay, I should have tried something when I was young. So don't get to that stage where you regret your life. Try to change your mindset, and if you need help, we are all here, and you can connect with us. Yeah, thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Thanks, Kavya. Thanks for the summary. Great points.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you, everybody. And see you guys next time where we come back with another interesting topic and we'll talk about it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.